And it looked like Caitlin Clark and Stephanie White definitely had a situation where they was in a heated exchange right before halftime.
Caitlin Clark, you need to go up to their front office, demand Stephanie White to be fired, removed.
They want the front office to pick between Caitlin Clark and Stephanie White, man.
It was only a matter of time, bro, that Caitlin Clark was going to obviously have words with Stephanie White.
Caitlin Clark needs to get the hell out of Indiana.
I think this is one of those things where it might be a turning point.
The locker room door slammed with a force that rattled the entire hallway. Inside, voices were raised, tensions sparking like electricity, and the Indiana Fever season teetered on the edge of a turning point. Caitlin Clark had finally reached her breaking point, and Stephanie White was about to face the fallout from her coaching choices in what became the most explosive confrontation of the WNBA season. What unfolded next would shock the basketball world and leave fans questioning whether the league's brightest star might walk away from Indiana for good.
The word on the street is CC told Stephanie White to sit Kelsey Mitchell and Howard because they don't pass. Could be true. CC went to tie her shoe after passing to Howard on a play. LOL.
And it is clear that there is a philosophical rift in the team.
The uproar that followed wasn't just about a single poor game or a questionable rotation. It reflected months of frustration, untapped talent, and a superstar who felt sidelined by the very system meant to showcase her. Clark's expression said it all: disbelief and exasperation. She had elevated this franchise to national prominence, only to be pushed to the margins of a game plan that seemed fundamentally at odds with superstar talent. Picture crafting an entire marketing campaign around a record-breaking second-year phenom, then benching her when the spotlight is at its brightest. That's the surreal drama unfolding in Indiana.
She don't know what she's doing. She's holding Caitlin Clark back. She don't know what to do with her.
Yeah, I know Caitlin Clark plays a certain type of way. You want to build a team around your superstar player. That is not the case for this team. This front office solely, to me, only care about the regiment of their team.
Y'all was way better without her. Last year, you hear me? She is sabotaging your game. She trying to make you play slow. Know what I'm saying? You have to have the ball in your hand and play up-tempo. That's your game. And everybody, even Ray Charles and Stevie Wonder can see that. You hear me? And everybody that's saying the Fever is better without Caitlin Clark, aka my precious CC, goofy.
Fans aren't just murmuring complaints. They're voicing their frustration loudly. Social media is flooded with posts like, "I paid for Clark magic, not this circus," and "If this is Fever basketball, count me out." When your team's top player feels sidelined, it stops being a coaching mistake and starts feeling like a betrayal to everyone who invested their time, money, and passion. That's where you come in. If you're watching and feel the same frustration as thousands of other fans, hit that like button and drop a free Caitlin in the comments. Make your voice heard. Let the Fever front office know exactly how we feel about the way they're handling our superstar. TO understand how we reached this boiling point. We need to rewind a few months to the moment that sparked it all. Stephanie White, reflecting on the Dallas Mavericks last season, made a comment that went viral. The Mavericks played differently, without Luka on the floor. She said, "The ball is moving. It's popping. Multiple players stepping up. Let that sink in."
Stephanie White, right here, talking about Luka.
A wrist sprain in that game and has been out since. And that puts a lot on the plate of players like Spencer Dinwiddie, who just came in, who finds Marshall for the corner three.
When you see the Mavs just play differently without Luka on the floor, he's a guy who's high usage rate, the ball's in his hands. When he's not on the floor, that ball is moving, it's popping, multiple players getting involved in action, and everyone's stepping up.
Okay, you can hear the excitement in her voice, talking about Luka not being in there. Oh, they're moving and they're popping and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, oh no. You hear that and you wonder, is she one of these coaches that doesn't believe in the transcendent player?
Was White essentially saying the team is better without its franchise cornerstone? The very player who carried them to an NBA Finals and won the league's scoring title? It's like a bakery claiming it sells more pastries after firing its head chef. Her remarks spread across social media, sparking shock, disbelief, and laughter. Analysts shook their heads. Fans erupted online. Yet White stood firm, framing it as a fundamental part of her coaching philosophy. No player is bigger than the system. That philosophy suddenly clicks when you see a similar storyline in Indiana. Swap Luka for Clark, the Mavericks for the Fever, and the narrative remains the same. The superstar becomes a liability in the eyes of the system.
Stephanie White, you deserve the Dodo Bird of the Day award.
And if they do not want to get a coaching, make a coaching change and bring in who she wants that is going to cater to her style and build the team around her strengths, then she should walk.
And who do you think that the fans come to see? They don't come see everybody else that's on that team. I'm sorry. That's no disrespect. The Caitlin Clark effect, the CC effect is real.
This wasn't just an offhand comment. It was a declaration of philosophy. Once you start connecting the dots behind every confusing lineup, every cold benching, every stagnant quarter, it begins to make sense. Stephanie White's mantra is clear. Handle the ball too much, and you're a problem. She wants an offense that flows freely, where responsibilities are shared, and the ball zips around like a pinball. On paper, it sounds ideal. Unselfish motion, crisp passing, creative playmaking. In reality, it often comes across like a broken shopping cart, jerky, directionless, with players colliding as they try to find meaning.
Bro, I don't even understand the spacing of the offense. I'm watching Caitlin Clark drive down the right side of the lane, and Natasha Howard, rather than spacing the floor and stand in the corner, she's diving to the basket, bringing a defender to Caitlin. It's just, bro, the offense is just trash. I got to be honest with you.
But what I will say with Stephanie White is just that I hate this offense. I do not like the Indiana Fever's offense this season. It's hard to watch. And I feel like Stephanie White is bringing what she was doing with the Connecticut Sun over here.
That's exactly why men need to be coaching in the WNBA, bro. Need to be coaching. Yeah, let a man do it, bro. Because all this women coaching other women athletes, bro, it's out of there. And then these women owners and all of that, man, please, bro, y'all just tearing stuff down, bro. It's not about y'all. But it's crazy though.
Caitlin Clark isn't just another player. She's a generational point guard, built to orchestrate the offense, ignite her teammates, and keep the engine running. When she's off the court, everything slows down. Yet White maintains that giving Clark heavy usage undermines team cohesion, arguing that it leads to predictability and isolation. The reality tells a different story. When Clark sits, the offense stalls, teammates drift, scoring support diminishes, and defenses have a feast on the confusion.
You played Natasha Howard more minutes in the first half than you played Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark played the fourth most minutes out of everybody in the starting lineup in the first half, and you wonder why we're losing. Caitlin, 12 points, 9 assists, but she don't even look like the same player. She don't look enthusiastic. She just don't even look like she into it anymore. She kind of look like she over this, you know what I mean? And to be honest, as a Caitlin Clark fan, I'm pretty much over it as well. I just got to keep it real with you. I'm pretty much over this as well. This season is a travesty. I just feel like, she needs to explore other options.
Stephanie White's system first struggled at Vanderbilt under the guidance of her mentor Carolyn Peck. Despite Peck's championship background, the Commodores stumbled through seasons, managing just 7 wins at a time before minor improvements arrived too late. Players transferred, fans drifted away, and frustration buzzed across campus. Now, with the WNBA sideline under her belt, White is implementing a similar blueprint, but the stakes are far higher. Instead of college students, she's under the scrutiny of national media and primetime broadcasts. The result feels familiar. A talented team that struggles to thrive. And when a star tries to shine amid the chaos, the contrast becomes stark. Caitlin Clark's numbers tell the story. Her usage rate has dropped nearly 20% compared to her breakout season. Her scoring and assists have dipped, and her once fluid court vision now seems constrained by stagnant ball movement. Where she once electrified arenas, she now appears hesitant, with teammates slow to sprint, screens delayed or missed, and defenders collapsing instantly. Clark isn't underperforming. She's being limited by a system that inhibits her natural impact. Her talent hasn't vanished. She still drills deep threes, threads impossible passes, and reads defenses like an open book. What's changed is the opportunity. White's approach prioritizes rotations, movement, and unpredictability over empowering her superstar. The result: Clark is forced into isolation, deprived of rhythm, and compelled to fight for every effective play. Game after game, the numbers reflect this misalignment. Inconsistent shooting nights, team breakdowns, and coaches attributing failures to adjustment periods while fans and analysts shake their heads. This isn't new territory for White. At Vanderbilt, she emphasized system purity, resulting in seasons of 7-23 and 7-24, with players leaving and fans losing faith. Success at the collegiate level doesn't automatically translate to the professional arena, where rhythms, egos, and stakes are far different. Yet White has essentially transplanted the same philosophy to Indiana, prioritizing unpredictability over superstar talent, sacrificing momentum for motion, and blaming players for system failures rather than adjusting the blueprint. The effect on the Fever is evident. Despite Clark's arrival and the investment in her as a franchise player, inconsistent results persist. Fans are noticing, and social media has become a loud forum for dissent. Hashtag Free Caitlin trends under Fever posts, with calls for her to be given the role she deserves. Empty seats, muted cheers, and frustrated sponsors add to the pressure. National broadcasters tread carefully in post-game pressers, and journalists relentlessly question front office leadership about Clark's usage. Clark's recent return from injury highlighted the issue. After 5 games missed, she rejoined a restructured lineup, forcing her into discomfort and creating disjointed team play. Her return against the Golden State Valkyries ended in an 80-61 loss, 10 points on 4 of 12 shooting, including 2 of 5 from 3. This isn't a superstar unleashed, it's a superstar constrained. Meanwhile, the Fever even won the Commissioner's Cup without Clark on the floor, highlighting the system's ability to function without its best player, but that misses the point entirely. No one wants a team that excels when its top talent sits, but Clark's brilliance still shines through, averaging over 17 points and 8 assists per game, creating highlight reel plays, and leading the offense whenever allowed. But these moments feel stolen rather than consistent. White justifies her rotations by saying Clark should move off the ball and set screens to get open looks, but that misses her true value. Clark isn't just a shooter, she's a floor general who elevates everyone around her. She thrives when controlling tempo and dictating play. The frustration intensified when White publicly criticized officiating after Clark endured multiple hard fouls, while simultaneously limiting Clark's opportunities in her own system. The contradiction is clear. She defends Clark from physical play, but not from her own playbook restrictions. White's philosophy treats players like interchangeable parts, favoring motion and chaos over harnessing elite talent. But basketball is about humans' instincts and skill. Great coaches design systems to amplify individual excellence, not suppress it. The league has evolved beyond unpredictability. Successful teams build around their stars. The Aces with Aya Wilson, the Liberty with Breanna Stewart, the Storm with their veteran leaders. These franchises enhance their best players rather than diminish them. Indiana had that chance with Clark, a generational talent around whom a dynasty could form, but instead has constrained her in a system that undercuts her strengths, sacrificing wins for ideology. Time is pressing. Clark has expressed visible frustration and faced questions about her role and usage. If the system doesn't change, the risk of losing her grows. The solution is straightforward. Give Clark the ball, let her orchestrate the offense, and create plays that leverage her abilities to lift her teammates. Elite individual talent and team success aren't mutually exclusive. In fact, great teams flow through their stars. Championship teams are built around their best players. Think Jordan with the Bulls, Magic with the Lakers. Stars need freedom, the ball, and confidence in crunch time. White must pivot or risk watching her brightest asset walk. That means adjusting the system, trusting Clark to lead, and recognizing that chaos isn't valuable if it suffocates your superstar. Imagine Clark dominating 25 points and 12 assists every night, leading the league, energizing fans, and restoring primetime excitement. Anything less is cosmetic. Fans need to make their voices heard. Push for Clark to get the role she deserves. Stop reruns and start broadcasting live brilliance. For high-voltage WNBA coverage and updates on this story, subscribe and stay tuned.